Hi, everybody. This is Lowell again with a continuation in our discussion of creativity, particularly music creativity. And this is, raising the question. Now that you've got your piece created, you've gotten your ideas created. What do you do with that in order to bring it to full expression? To basically bring it from the realm of ideas into the real world, where it's actually impacting other people and being a benefit to other people. So this really extends into an area of you really can't call it anything other than leadership. And leadership is involving other people in the idea. And, there's a famous quote by John Maxwell. He says, leadership is not position, rank, or title. Leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. And so, how you influence other people to participate in your ideas shows really it becomes the make it or break it part of bringing your idea fully into the world. You can create all sorts of stuff, but if it's not actually benefiting and where the rubber meets the road, per se, if it's not touching other people's lives, then it's just in your own head. It's not. It's just in your own files. Uh, Funny story. I used to live with a painter, an artist, who he was very successful in terms of creation, but he could never bring himself to sell his paintings, and so he had a house full of all these paintings hanging everywhere, but nobody else had them and nobody knew about him. He just his paintings were just hanging in his own house, and that's what we don't want to have happen. So the first part of leading other people in your ideas is to present your ideas to other people so that they actually have an understanding of what you're trying to do, and giving them an opportunity to participate. And so, from a music standpoint, what you want to do is have clean parts. I worked with the Finale notation software for 30 years and got very comfortable with it. And then that company decided that they were going to quit, and so now I got to learn a whole nother music software program called Dorico, which I think is a great program, but I'm just having to learn it all over. But having, we call this process of music, putting your music down into notation. The process is called engraving, and so if you want other, if you want ensembles, whether it be a jazz band or even a rock band. I worked with a rock band for uh, several decades with my work at the church, and I found it very helpful to have good charts, good clean charts that I could put in front of everybody. I know that a lot of times these days people lean towards recordings, and that's fine. I think that's another part of presenting your material. Even a good demo scratch recording at home with your digital audio workstation, whether you use Logic or some other uh, platform, Ableton, Cubase. There's several really excellent platforms out there to get your ideas down. But I find that a combination of all of these things, we've talked in uh, other tutorials about how people learn, and people learn with their eyes, they learn with their ears, and they learn by doing. And so those are the three main ways that people learn, and particularly musicians learn. Uh, of course, musicians, we're dealing with sound, and so musicians have to be able to learn well by listening. But I find that the greatest success is found in the combination of um, visual, oral, and kinesthetic. And so those are the three types of learning. So you want to present people with all of those options. Everybody is a little bit different. Some people lean towards, they learn things by doing a lot easier than the others. Some people learn by hearing. Some people learn by looking. Um, I know some people that are really excellent music readers, where you put a chart in front of them, they've never seen it before, and they can just execute it almost flawlessly the first time. Other people really lean towards their hearing, their ears. Um, and other people, of course, by doing, they learn and feel comfortable by participation. So you want to give everyone the opportunity to connect at the place that they are most natural and most is easiest for them to connect with what you're presenting. And so having clean charts, having a good representative recording. I've found personally that it's at least 3 times harder to bring forth something that's original than what's already been produced. Things that people have already heard on the radio, people, they've already, or, in classical music, some of these works have been performed thousands of times, if not millions. And so there's already a record, a recording, there's already a historical example of how the piece is done, and the certain frameworks that everybody has come to be known as standard. But when you bring forth something totally new that nobody has ever heard, they don't have a concept of it. It's about, I've experienced it as being 2 or 3 times harder. You have to put in the extra work to actually bring it from the realm of your imagination into a real live performance. So, I, this isn't taught very much. As a matter of fact, I've never heard it taught in a music school, and I've been to a lot of music schools. I've never heard the concept of leadership really be made a central part of bringing music together. And in my opinion, music is relationships. Music is about people working together. Music is much more than sound. Music is, in essence, is relationships, and it's relationship with yourself, and it's relationship with others. And so you really, in order to have successful relationships, you have to touch and focus on the subject of leadership.